Wolves and Unbounds. So it's kind of interesting not to see Korkron in the list anymore.
Yeah.
But he does have a Harrison for Doomhammer potentially. And, Control Warrior, this is kind of a draw-dependent matchup.
He's got a cleave, though. He does have a cleave. He does have 2 armor smiths and a brawl. So lots of answers for classes like the shaman that really fill the board. So this warrior might be a little bit more equipped for this matchup than the ones that we normally see. Missing the Korkrons, like you said, but it makes up for a lot of these other cards.
Yeah,
Okay.
and he does have a Fiery War Axe in his opener, which will basically mean that we're going to probably see a pretty long game here.
Yes.
If the game ends quickly, it's usually some combination of Argent Squire, Feral Spirits, Flame Tongue Totem, and hit, dead.
Yeah. It's really hard for the warrior to end things early, honestly, with the kind of cards that it runs in the beginning. So, if anything, the shaman would be the one to dictate in the beginning, if it is going to be a landslide one direction. Okay, it looks like Ek0p draws. Okay, so a lightning storm. So he's got a lot of answers. He's got the Harrison Jones, which is going to be really, really key for him. Just arming the Gorehowl. Probably won't. He'll probably try to avoid using it on the Fiery War Axe just because it's not as much value.
Yeah, you definitely want to save Harrison for Gorehowl if possible.
Yeah.
There were some warriors that weren't running Gorehowl yesterday, so we might see if the game goes really long, if there's kind of the mind games of the one attack Fiery War Axe that's left up forever.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so Forsen's just happy just to hero power and just kind of build up his card power here, and Ek0p getting some guys on the board. Forsen does have a stopper at 5 with his brawl, so he can let things go a little bit, but he's going to throw down the Farthing Berserker to help fight off some of these totems and maybe hopefully get some things going.
Yeah, that's actually a really good draw there for Ek0p because now he can just throw down the Unbound, kill the Frothing with just a bolt, and grow his Unbound at the same time. And doesn't have to just throw down the Flame Tongue and trade 2 totems.
Yeah, it's one of the ideal situations with the Unbound. And being able to Lightning Bolt for 4, it's always great. Looks like Forsen's got 4 mana. He could do an Acolyte Whirlwind here to draw a card. Again, he can be patient. He can take some damage here and brawl on turn 5. Maybe even turn 7, so he can throw down Acolyte too, but after the brawl. But what do you think is going to be the best play here?
I don't think Acolyte Whirlwind is terrible, although usually you want to save Whirlwinds against Shaman just because with an Azure Drake you clear all their totems.
Good point.
Kind of like the same thing for Brawl and Baron Geddon as well. Those are kind of key cards to have against Shaman because they mostly clear their board. And yeah, axing up and then just armoring doesn't really surprise me that much.
So he
knows Ek0p can't play Harrison because he's overloaded, and it gets pretty good value on this Brawl next turn, most likely.
Yeah. He can be patient here. He's thinking about playing a Flame Tongue Totem, but being really just what do you think? Just hero powering and not playing anything? I think that's probably his best play.
Yeah, possibility.
Playing around Brawl. I mean, you probably sense that he probably senses that Forsen has a Brawl, given that how passive he's been on the board.
Yeah. And Forsen doesn't really have much in the way of answers to a lot of totems. Like I said, Whirlwinds, Brawls, and Baron Geddon are pretty much the only ways. He does actually. That's a pretty lucky draw, drawing that second Whirlwind.
That's pretty much Brawl.
Board. Yeah,
Brawl, but getting to draw 2 cards too, which is really, really nice. Alright, so he removes the entire board and is going to draw 3 cards from that Acolyte. Serious value.
Yeah, unless Ek0p chooses to silence it somehow. That Acolyte's going to get all 3 cards of value, so pretty good for Forsen.
Ek0p might be forced to play the Harrison Jones here. He's got to get something on the board. Can't have an empty turn here. So he goes ahead and does that, draws a card. At least gives him a turn 6 play.
Yeah, I mean, Forsen just got such a huge advantage from that double Whirlwind turn.
Oh, yeah.
Karen's usually not that difficult for Shaman to deal with, but it actually might be pretty difficult here.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to remove it efficiently, at least. A Hex would have been good, an Urshock would have been good to really deal with it.
Yeah,
But
even
he's
if it
gonna
had just
be...
come down a turn later, that would have worked. Just
Let's
because
see,
of
what
that
is-
Argent Flame Tongue, but
Okay, he's hoping for... I think he's hoping for a Lightning Storm, or an Air Totem there, so maybe he could have Stormed and then bolted the... just to finish off Karen, and then removed Bane with the Harrison. But he's not... He could still do that if he wanted to, but it looks like he's trying to avoid that, though. Okay, he's gonna go with the Doom
yeah.
Hammer. And just gonna remove the Acolyte and hit face, I believe. Yep, he's gonna hit face with the Harrison Jones.
That kind of feels risky to me. I'm not sure why. There are a lot of ways for the warrior to remove the Harrison, and I guess there are a lot of answers to deal with Karen efficiently. But ooh,
Oh,
that's
faceless,
a really
faceless
good
thing,
draw.
the Karen. When you know your opponent can't deal with Karen, what's better than one? Two Karens and really having a ton of pressure on him here. He's gonna go ahead and remove one of the Harrison Jones with the Karen, and there's a ton of pressure on Ek0p now. He does have two Storms, so he could remove a good deal of it, but it's going to give Forsen a lot of armor.
Yeah, I mean he can even
It's gonna
guarantee
be a lot of cost.
he can guarantee that he gets a spell power just with the Thanos, but I mean he's looking at 3, maybe 4 on the Banes, so he's taking 8 to clear Karen and Bane, and he can clear the 1/4, I guess, with the 1/1. But yeah, it's not a really any great solutions for Ek0p in this turn.
He opted to totem there. I'm surprised he didn't play Thalnus just to at least guarantee just more damage from the lightning storms to guarantee
Yeah, I
that
think-
you could remove with your weapon too.
I
So
think
he's,
toteming signals that he's not going to storm here.
yeah, he's gonna go ahead and lightning bolt, or
Yeah,
he
maybe.
could play flame tongue and just throw the 3/1 into the Bane and then finish it off. But it looks like he is gonna go with the lightning bolt, remove the armor smith, and go with
Okay,
to the
so
face here.
maybe Ek0p's plan is, well, this is so dangerous because if he doesn't roll a spell power totem, then the lightning storms aren't going to be able to do that much. Because he could have waited on like the Thanos, use the 1/1 and lightning bolt to kill the armor smith, and then on the next turn go on Thanos storm, hit Cairn so that it turns into a Bane.
Yeah.
Storm again, and then hit the Bane that pops out. He does take a lot of damage from that play, but it would have killed both Cairns and the Banes.
Right. Forsen's going to go ahead and clear the board here. Cleave Taskmaster, and he's in extreme strong position here. Ek0p's going to be forced to. He's going to be forced to. Let's see how much mana does he have here?
He has full 8. He can
Okay, he
deal
drew an
with
Earth
the bulk
Shock.
of it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
He drew an
the
Earth
Earth
Shock.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
for
so
Ek0p.
if he really wanted to, he could double storm here to remove it all, or he could just storm it. Hopefully, he rolls high and remove it with his Doom Hammer. He's still got a decent amount of health against the warrior, so not too scary to avoid using your weapon to remove the minions here. There we go.
If he does use his weapon though, that does put him at 12, which is kind of the wheelhouse
There we go,
spot
double.
warrior to kill, but it didn't matter because he rolled low on the Bane anyways.
Yep. So he double storm. He's going to be overloaded 4 next turn, but he can still play that Argent Commander next turn, which would be a nice play.
Yeah, and you know he does still have a reasonable amount of gas left in his hand.
Mhm.
So
But Forsen's got a lot of things. He's got the rag. He's got an Alexstrasza too, so he's going to go ahead and throw down the rag and
Yeah.
see if Ek0p can deal with it. He hasn't had Hex all game, and he can tell because he played 2 Karens and they weren't responded with a Hex. So he's just going to continue to put the pressure with the big units. and see if Ek0p can top deck a Hex here. Because if he
Yeah.
doesn't, is he going to be able to remove this? I don't even think he can remove it with what he's currently got.
No.
Oh,
If he
actually, he
can't,
has. Yeah, he only has 6 mana, right?
yeah, if he can't hex it, then well, he
But he
top deck a
can't.
hex, so it didn't matter. But if he couldn't hex it, he was going to have to play rag roulette with
With
feral
that Feral
spirits
Spirit.
and totems and such. So
Yeah. Okay, so he's going to go ahead and Hex here. I don't think there's much of a choice, and I guess the question is whether he's going to play Feral Spirit or not, or he's just going to Totem, but I think Feral Spirit is going to be the right move here.
well, that one's a little harder to say. He does have that fiery war axe just staring him in the face, which is kind of annoying to just play a feral spirits into. But yeah, he does have to protect his life total a little bit. This does keep him safe from a Grom Taskmaster at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, not the best spot for Ek0p. It's just kind of running out of steam.
Yeah, he's hanging on to his weapon too. He could have actually removed the frog if he wanted to, but he's trying to hope for a rock biter there, maybe get a 10 damage kind of burst to help him get Forsen into a lethal range, but it hasn't happened yet. Forsen's gonna use the Alexstrasza on himself here, get a nice huge 8/8 that's protected by a taunt.
Yeah, and actually,
Or-
that taunt actually is potentially saving Forsen, because Ek0p could draw the Rockbiter weapon, and then with a double Flame Tongue totems, he actually
Yep.
potentially had lethal last turn if there were no taunt. But now he's kind of in an awkward spot. He doesn't really want to use the Doomhammer to kill the frog, but at the same time, he really wants to kill that Alexstrasza. So kind of tough here for Ek0p. I think we'll see the Charger and the Flame Tongue, and he'll kill the frog and then charge both of his guys into Alexstrasza.
Yeah,
But,
I think so too.
Ek0p is a pretty aggressive guy, so we might actually just see him go face with everything.
Face would be so risky. I mean, if he
Yeah.
goes face with this, then Forsen just has to have 4 damage, which I mean, there's
Yeah,
a
that's-
lot of variations of 4 damage.
That's a Core Chron Elite,
Yeah,
or
I mean, he already has a. He actually already
just
has a.
Omniman.
Yeah, this is Okay, so he's gonna go for the safer play here.
All right, this makes a lot of sense. He's gonna go for the clear on Alexstrasza, and
Yeah, I think that's the right move.
yeah. Looks like he was thinking about attacking face. Oh, he did actually get that in.
Okay,
He got
the.
the face attack in with the Doomhammer. So
All right, so Forsen, he's gonna remove both of these units. Going to have finish off his fiery war axe, and then throw down Harrison Jones. He knows that Ek0p probably doesn't, or Ek0p doesn't have a weapon anymore. So again, these players both know their decks.
yeah, and it's kind of funny. Ek0p got that hit in just at the tail end of when
Rock there.
at the end of his turn timer. I mean, and then Forsen top deck the Harrison right before right as the weapon ran out. So kind of lucky random timing there for Ek0p.
Yeah, true. So Ek0p draws a rock biter, but like you said, it would have been too late given the timing of the Harrison draw. And Ek0p's trying to decide if he wants to taunt this up, or maybe if he wants to get another totem down here. But
Yeah, I'm sure he knows that. I'm sure he's looked over the deck list and seen that Forsen does run Gorehowl.
Mhm.
So he's got to be thinking, well, how am I going to win this game, and then also more importantly, how am I not going to not lose this game next turn? And I think he knows that Grom and Taskmaster will end the game regardless of what he does. But,
yeah,
it's like,
it's just
well-
a matter of whether you remove the Gorehowl winning condition or not,
yeah, exactly. And
and he does that. I think that's the right move. I mean, he potentially still has the Defender of Argus on the board. After this turn, maybe Forsen can't remove it in some way, and then he could build some momentum with that Flame Tongue Totem and then
Yeah.
and another totem or whatever he draws, right? So I think this is the highest percentage play.
Yeah. Forsen actually, it's kind of interesting here. He hasn't played or drawn an execute all game.
Oh, that's
So-
true. I didn't even think about that.
Go for slam on the Drake to try to draw that execute.
And he's going to go ahead with the Gorehowl and remove it, kind of keep the Harrison on the board. And his life is alarmingly low, but there's really no burst that Ek0p can have in one turn here to kill him.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a card that he could draw that could actually take him down 12.
Yeah, Ek0p needs a taunt totem here. And,
Oh,
well,
gets it.
wow, he actually does get it, so it's gonna help him quite a bit. He's probably just gonna, is he gonna clear Harrison here?
Yep, he's got
he's
to
gonna-
clear Harrison here. Still can die to the Task Grom combo, but Forsen doesn't have it. So Ek0p's not in a bad situation here.
Yeah, Forsen is going to be able to remove the board actually, but
Mhm.
yeah, that was a pretty much the only line that Ek0p had, and
Yeah.
he's kind of just gonna wait for Forsen to kill him.
Yep, unfortunately he drew the shield slam there. He's got the slam. Goral's going to remove the taunt totem and not even take any damage too. And not quite removing the whole board, but pretty darn close.
Yeah, Ek0p needs like Alakir or something.
Okay, well he got the Argent Commander. He needs a taunt totem. He needs to hit the taunt totem like 4 times in a row. Is what he needs.
Oh my god. He gets another taunt totem, and you know, we're seeing a little bit of RNG at work here.
He shouldn't attack the Acolyte, right? He should attack face here.
I think he should probably go face, yeah.
Yeah. I think he's a little bit worried that, I don't know, there's a tasking the Acolyte with a slam or something might kill him, but he's not going to get any closer to winning if he doesn't attack face there.
Yeah, and Forsen's probably, well, I don't even know, can you just
the
force
Divine
out
the Divine Shield's really annoying for Forsen here.
Yeah. And, you know, he's just can't get that last point or 2 of damage. His damage has gone down by 1 each turn, and he's kind of gotten 1 more damage each turn. Oh, man.
Oh, that's really bad. Okay, so he's going to slam the Divine Shield here, see what he gets. Oh, he got a Grom. Oh, if he would have slammed first, he could have.
He wouldn't
he wouldn't have lethal, but he would have had a Grom. So I think the Brawl ended up being a better play there. But he's set up next turn for lethal, and Ek0p, he's got to roll another taunt totem, man.
25%.
Does he get it? Oh, he didn't get it. Okay, that's gonna be lethal for Forsen here.
Yeah.
Forsen's gonna tie the series. If he would have got another taunt totem, oh my goodness.
I would have had to ask to see how things are coded, because that would have been like the 4th taunt totem in a row.
That would have been game over for him. Oh, that would have been brutal. But Forsen ties the series 2-2. Best of 5 series. We're going to game number 5. First series